This coming May will mark the 23rd anniversary of my parents' marriage. But it occurred to me recently that I'd never heard the details of their story. Likewise, I realised I'd never heard how my grandmother had met my grandfather. So, sitting down recently with a cup of coffee, I sat with my mother, my father's mother, and a friend of the family's, and I asked them each the simple question: how did they meet their husbands?
How I met my dearly beloved. I just went to meet my friend to go to the films. And I was waiting for her, and with that I met two people. My future husband, and we had a chat. He wanted to know, was I going to the cinema? I said I was, and who with? But my friend failed to turn up, so I decided I'd go on into the movies. So as I went in, got my ticket, I went upstairs because I was going up onto the balcony. I met him again, sitting on the steps waiting for me to come in. So we went into the cinema together and we sat down together. He treated me to sweets and ice cream. And after the movies, he walked me home. And then, from then on, our relationship started.
What year was that?
That was in 1948.
And how many years were you married for then?
38 years.
We didn't meet Paul. We met Paul. We both worked in Irish distillers together in the same department, similar department, side by side. And we got to know each other at different receptions that we used to go to when people were leaving, or wedding receptions, things like that. And he left me home one night, and at those days he had a little Fiat Bambino, just smaller than a 127, and he dropped me home to my house. I had a boyfriend and he had a kind of a girlfriendish, and he wanted to kiss me in the car outside our house, and I just said, all right, because everybody kept telling me how much he fancied me, and I felt sorry for him, and I said, all right, what's a kiss, for God's sake, it's not much. And then the following Valentine's Day, we were working together in the office and something, and he wished me happy Valentine's Day. We used to stay back late in the office chatting, and he used to say to me he wished he was older because I'm 4 years older than him, so that he could ask me out. And it didn't really matter because I was going out with somebody else and I wasn't really interested in him. But when I went out to my car that evening, there was a fabulous card on the car, big card, Valentine's Day card. And I did buy him a little card with just hope you have a nice Valentine's Day. And when I got home, my mother said to me, that was a beautiful card. There's lots of poetry written into it, lots of rhymes and things. It was really it was a huge card actually. And she said, he is very nice, you should ring him and thank him. So I rang the office knowing he'd still be in there. And he asked me, would I like to go out for a drink? And I said I would. But we were both going out with people, so it was very just casual. And then we developed, and it began to become more of a romance. And he used to give me a lift home in the snow in his Bambino from work, and we had our ups and downs, and we were together for about 4 years before we decided together to get engaged. And let me think, was there anything else? Yes, when we shared the office together, he'd have to go out on business in the company van, and this before we started going out together, and he used to ask me would I like to go for a drive in the car with him when he'd go off to go out on little trips. We used to go out and we used to have a little smooch in the car and take the long road out to Clontarf and back, and developed the relationship from there on, and then it wasn't such a big plunge to go out with him. So 25 years. We'll be married in March the 22nd, and we will be 30 years going out, or 30 years together in August. So happily ever after, pretty much, I guess.
Tom was working in a company in Rathfarnham, and I was working for the Dublin Corporation, and I was after completing a course, and I had to go to Tom's company for a week as sort of a work experience or whatever, and Tom was the man that had to look after me. So I was in reception and they called for Tom Delaney, and he came downstairs, and I knew straight away he was impressed when he saw me. I did. I knew straight away he was taken in by my sheer beauty. And I had to go up to his office, which was up in a loft, wasn't it? And he introduced himself as Tom, but he was a little bit aloof with me, you know, not all that pleasant at all. And as we were walking up the stairs to the loft, he walked ahead of me, which I thought was extremely rude. But then I didn't mind, because I thought he had the cutest little bum as he walked up the stairs ahead of me. And then we were up there about a half an hour, and he's in the electronics area, and there was a massive power cut, and there was no electricity or nothing, and it was pure dark up there. So he literally had to feel his way around. I found out during that week that Tom used to do a lot of swimming in Temple Oak, and I also did a lot of swimming, but it was in Rathmines. So one evening, out of sheer and utter boredom and nothing else to do, I decided I'll go to Temple Oak Pool, and I dragged my friends along. And off we went in my new swimsuit. And at that time, there was no fake tans, so I was quite pale in my black swimsuit. And I saw him, and if you know Temple Oak Pool, the deep end is in the middle, you know, but I didn't know that then, but I know it now. And I dived in my sheer elegance, and lo and behold, I landed on top of Tom. I had to write a report, by the way, when I went back to work after my week, about my weeks there, and I just wrote down that I met my husband. That was my report, because I learned nothing because it was a power cut, so I thought I'd humour them. And my boss actually said, "Oh, not again, she's not." I stopped sending her on these courses because she keeps meeting her husband on them. So that was the last course I was sent on. So 20 odd years later, I'm still with Tom. I think I need to do a new course.